Good morning. Welcome to the Naples Money Managers News You Can Use. Now, I'm a familiar face, Dawn Litchfield Brown, who's been with this company for now 37 years since I started it, 1987. And this is Brian Bruneau, a face you have not met before. Brian is a new partner, and I think we wanted to introduce you and get you to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll dive into the markets. But
that's great.
This is the news you can use today.
Outstanding. Great to be with you. Great to be partnering with you.
Yeah, well, he's been here coming in a couple days a week just to get the feel for everything and meeting with clients.
Absolutely. Great team, just the amazing operation you have here.
Thank you.
Thrilled to be part of it.
And I'm not going anywhere, so don't worry. Everybody always says that. They see a new face and they're like, are you leaving? Are you retiring? The answer is no. Okay.
Absolutely.
Sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. No, we definitely need Dawn here forever, as long as she wants to be. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit about us. Naples Wealth Planning has been around for about 9 years. So we started it a little while ago and been growing ever since. So we're about 1.2 billion under management on the retail side. So we have a little bit of scale and size. We've not as penetrated as Naples Money Managers, but we think bringing the two teams together, as long as you've been in this market, and with the new clients that we've been able to capture, I think we've got something really special.
Right. So just so it's kind of clear, we're not actually at this point merging, but Brian and his partner Rick are becoming partners here. And then what we'll be doing is we're going to be using a lot of their services to take off the burden off of us for doing things like compliance and bookkeeping and human resources, so we can focus 100% on our clients and our new clients that are coming in the door. So that part is very exciting. So it's a very methodical relationship that we're working on, and I think that's the way to go. So what I wanted to do also was, Brian is a pretty astute fellow when it comes to the markets.
Well, thank you.
Everybody's panicked. They're coming in here and they're all worried about the elections, and they're worried about the economy, and they're worried about the markets. And of course, my attitude is, don't worry. It's all going to be okay.
True.
Everything works out in the end. You just have to live long enough. Right?
That's right.
But what's your thoughts on this?
No, I would agree with you, Dawn. Every election has always got a little hair on it, right? And everybody gets a little bit nervous. I mean, this one's a little unique. Seems to be a little bit more extreme on both sides of the political fence.
Well, we've never had a situation where the candidate who was running from one party left that nomination. At least not that I know of. I'm sure maybe there is one out there. But
I agree.
This is very unique, and that just taking that alone, that's unique.
Yeah, and I think the focus is on the presidential piece of it, right? So, but really, what it comes down to is what Congress ends up looking like.
Absolutely,
right?
It's really what the party itself is able to do.
Absolutely. So, I think if you look back in history, every time you have one of these situations, right, it comes out fairly smooth. That's where we do our job.
Right. That's the key. We want to make sure that we don't sit across the table from anybody saying, I'm sorry, you have to downsize, or your principal has been eroded for one reason or another. And as Brian knows, he sits in on our investment meetings with us. The types of securities you choose when you're in a situation like this can really insulate you from a lot of what could happen.
Absolutely, which is to give testimony to all your clients out there, that are listening. Dawn and team have done a fantastic job. Their approach to the market, the strategies are, because we're seeing them, fairly new, over the last couple of months, and just an outstanding job. I think.
And just so you give an idea, since we do a lot of options, which means choices, right? Covered calls, mostly, always covered calls. We want to be covered. We all know naked is never really, really good, unless you're at a nudist colony, I guess. But we try to be always covered here, and they have a great deal of experience with options as well.
Yeah.
And they have more clout than we have, because they have the ability with their size to, sometimes we have trouble getting Fidelity to do what we want. because we're not as big as some of the others, so that's going to help us too.
Yes, I think, coming together, the symmetries are,
Right.
What's most important. And I think the chemistry between the teams is fantastic. We have the same philosophy,
Oh, it has to be.
we both think very holistically, looking
Yeah,
at the
we've
full
been
picture.
dating for like a year.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's it. Finally, we're getting married.
Yeah, we're probably going to get married. I don't know if we're getting bed together, but we're going to get
I don't know
married.
if Sam's going to like that
At
too much.
some point, yeah, he doesn't watch these. My husband doesn't watch these, and your wife doesn't even know about him yet, right?
That's right, so we won't
So
tell.
we're safe. We're safe. But let's get back to the market for just a second. Philosophically, we're in the same place. But what would you say to possible new clients and our clients out there that might help them feel a little less stressful about what's going to happen in November?
I think we've had a nice run in equities, right? I
sure
think
have.
the market, we got interest rates that seem to be falling a little bit, so that's always good.
What about the national debts?
A little nervous about that, sure,
Yeah.
but we've been spending forever, right? I think the U.S. is really the marketplace, right? So whatever we do kind of drives the world.
Right,
So
but it is I believe, now I think there's some people out there who don't think the debt makes a lot of difference because you can just print more money. But when you start looking at printing more money, that decreases the value of our dollar.
Absolutely.
Right, and then globally it becomes a different issue. And I think we really have to be concerned about global issues. There is an element of debt that is acceptable. So if you have a mortgage and your house is worth $500,000 and you have a $350,000 mortgage or $400,000 mortgage and your income can support that, then that's okay. So it's not like all debt is bad.
no, and I don't think the government's as disciplined as we would be as consumers.
You don't think so? No, okay.
But great advice, and I think we build that into to every client's portfolio
Right.
that we look at, right?
So we don't get too upset about the debt, but we do feel like it is a challenge. I mean, if you recall, there was no inflation when we were on the gold standard. Remember back?
I do. Well, I don't remember that.
I was going to say, I don't think.
You don't remember it either.
Let's see, was it Roosevelt who took us
Maybe.
off the gold standard?
Yeah, I think we were a twinkle in our parents' eyes.
But that was just for everybody. That was just for the United States. So we went off the gold standard, and then I think it was Nixon. And you guys can all correct me. I would welcome the emails. Dawn at NaplesMoneyManagers.com. If I'm wrong, but I think it was Nixon who took us off the gold standard globally. And until that happened, we didn't have inflation because you had to have a chunk of gold for every dollar. You couldn't just print more gold. Well, maybe now Marcus could with his 3D printer.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He just got one last night. He's all excited. So it does affect us ultimately, and I don't think it can be ignored. We can't just keep printing more dollars.
True.
I mean,
Very
we can.
true.
We
Yeah.
can.
We probably will.
But we
right?
shouldn't.
The government keeps expanding, right? I mean,
Right.
COVID didn't help that, obviously.
No. And then they had to do some stimulus, and I think I know it's criticized, but I don't think it was a bad thing.
No.
The stimulus that was done. So.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk much longer. It's already been about 7 minutes, and the dog is starting to bark. So we don't want that on the film, on the video. But I do welcome you to. You can scan our QR code, and what that does when you do that, it takes you right to our website, or you can, I guess, like and subscribe. I don't even know because this goes on a YouTube channel. So we want to have a zillion subscribers, right?
Absolutely.
But I think
More the better.
I think we
Yep.
have 3.
More than
I don't know what we have, but if whatever it is, when you see the video today, if it says like or subscribe, we'd love it if you would do that as well. And when you stop in, you'll get to meet Brian and talk to him in person. He loves to get to know people.
Absolutely.
So with that, I'm just going to say, you know that money matters, but most of all, and most importantly, you matter. We'll talk with you next week.